Saturated fat is the only way to go. Remember, Gumbolaya is gumbo plus jambalaya, melding both Cajun and Creole cuisines by Paul the Master Prudhomme. Fat is equal to good, or fat equals good. Saturated fat is the only way to go for a long, healthy life and great flavor and taste.
Well, why is that, Uncle Paul?
Saturated fat has been found to be good as opposed to hydrogenated fat, which has a relationship to the cause of cancer.
You're gonna eat your fat.
Today we're going to start out with making the roux. It's with Paul Prudhomme. He was a famous chef down in New Orleans. He started out with the roux. He used to build the flavors, is what he would answer. He was a very colorful sort of man. He was about 5'2" high and about 5'2" wide. And he reunited America with his Cajun cooking. He said you would layer the flavors, starting with the roux, then the Trinity, which is celery, onion, and green peppers, is what his Holy Trinity was. And today, like I was saying, we're going to make the roux, and just watch this. Okay, in France, the Holy Trinity, they had their Maracuja, where instead of the green peppers, they had carrots, and then they also had the onions and the celery. Okay, now I put some beef tallow in here to get a little head start, get it warmed up.
How much did you put in there, Uncle Paul?
I put in 3/4 of a cup, or a cup, and I'm going to put in a cup of flour. You have to stir it constantly, and I started stirring just as soon as I dumped it. And you can see the flour all melted in.
So, Uncle Paul, how long is this going to take?
It takes 40 minutes to an hour. Okay, now what I've done is after the whisk, I put in the roux stir, and it should take care of this for about the next 40 minutes. It's vibrating and turning at the same time. Makes a big world of difference.
Uncle Paul, it looks like it's changed color a little bit. It's gotten a little bit brownish, creamy.
Yes, it has. This will go on till it turns nice and brown. Okay, as you can see, it's been about 15 minutes. I'm helping the roux stir out, getting it off the edges, getting the roux off the edges, and it's continuing to vibrate. The color's starting to turn a little bit, and the consistency is definitely getting a little bit liquider. Okay, there you see it. The roux stir has done a beautiful job. It's just a beautiful color, that light peanut butter color, beautiful texture. Remember, it's flour and beef tallow, and it's got that nutty flavor in the air. This is going to be the underlying flavor dimension of our Gumbolaya, gumbo and jambalaya, and will be that for our Gumbolaya, the melding of the two. Okay, now it's done, and what I'm going to do is put it in a jar, put it in the refrigerator, and you'll see me using it. This is the mainstay, so you'll see me use it in the next step of our Gumbolaya. Hi, it's Uncle Paul here. We're browning the andouille, some of it smoky, some of it regular andouille, before I put in the Holy Trinity. Brown this up here. We'll just brown it up. You know, we don't do this in the Firehouse. This is a special recipe I learned from Paul Prudhomme down in New Orleans, how to make gumbo and jambalaya and one other dish. But for my son's first birthday, what I did is I mixed the jambalaya and the gumbo and made Gumbolaya, and was it ever a hit. We had about 30-40 people there for his first birthday, and everybody loved it, raved on about it, so I thought I'd produce it here for you folks so you could see how it goes.
That's exciting, Uncle Paul. God, what's the temperature at there?
It's at medium high. Okay, we'll brown it up here a little bit. I think you're going to love this. We're going to have to get these all ready to go. We've got about half of them in here and half of them wait for another step. Okay, so we got the sausage, the andouille, and the smoky, half of each one. Starting to get a little furious, so we're going to put the first half of the Holy Trinity in, cool it down a little bit. We got some white onion, got some celery, put about half of this. There's your celery. Building the flavor, as Mr. Prudhomme called it. We'll put the green peppers in. They're all cut up nicely. Turn it up just a little high and let it do what? Go ahead. Okay, we got, as you can see, we got the first trinity in there. The celery, the green onions, the green peppers, and the white onion. Mighty tasty. It smells mighty tasty. Crank it up a little bit. Start to get a little bit furious now. Okay, now that it's all going, we're going to put some broth in there. A little bit of chicken broth. Okay, we're going to put the tomatoes in, making this a Creole dish.
What are you doing, Uncle Paul?
We're reducing it down a little bit. Letting it cook a little and reduce down the liquid.
So, Uncle Paul, when does that great chicken go in there?
Chicken is going to go in right away. Okay, we're going to put the chicken in here. There you can see these beautiful pieces of chicken. How beautiful that is. Okay, it's boiling good. Okay, this is Firefighter Paul again. It's time for the first seasoning. I'm going to use a little gumbo filet, a little liquid smoke, paprika, thyme leaves, oregano leaves, and a little Worcestershire sauce. So here we go. Gumbo filet helps thicken the sauce. Okay. Put a little dash of the liquid smoke. Not a lot, just a little taste. There we go. We're going to put the paprika. A little bit of there. A little thyme leaves. A little bit of the oregano leaves. And a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, about a teaspoon. There we go.
Boy, Uncle Paul, that sure smells good from over here.
Oh, it smells wonderful up close. This is fabulous. Okay, now we're going to put in the rest of the andouille and smoky sausage. Okay, now we're going to put the top on it and let it go for about 40 minutes or so. It's time for me to tell you about something special to me. I was very lucky, and my brother also, we both were very lucky to be firefighters. Job we loved, absolutely loved. And there were many hard times when we did it. Hard times when you had sad things happen. But the thing that helped counterbalance that were the things that turned out fortunate. And the fun you had around the firehouse. And this one time we went around the corner, there was a man with one leg, bless him, pushing his car with one leg. Of course, we all got out and gave him a hand, but just think of how courageous that man was facing his cross. Pushing the car with one leg. When you're having a bad day, think about what his bad days must be like, and you'll be feeling a whole lot better. Okay, we're coming down towards the end, so I'm going to add a few more things. We've got some spring onions I'm going to add. About half of those in. All the parsley and all the cilantro.
You betcha.
We got some parsley. Add all that in there. Okay. And the cilantro, we're going to add it. Stir it all up a little bit. Boy, if you can smell this at home, you would just be ready to go. We have built these flavors to a point that Paul Barhome would be so proud. Serve this right at K. Paul's himself. You know I'm on the job. When I'm on the job, we light them up. Okay, we're going to talk about Willie and the Pole Boys hanging out down on the street. Pete, Roger, Willie, Al, Mike, Mikey, all the boys down on the corner.
Tell me about that cat, yeah.
Do it to it.
That's what you saw? Tell me where he's at, where he's at. I want to know where that putty cat.
Don't forget Vic.
A putty cat.
Yeah, he likes to hang out on the corner too.
Is he skinny or fat? A putty cat, eh? I don't like them putty cats. Well, where he's at? Oh, I see.
Gunga, galunga. Gunga, gunga, la gunga. So we finish 18, and he's gonna stiff me. And I say, hey, Lama!
You didn't need to scratch me like that. You bad old putty cat. Now I'ma have to treat you a little bit here. With my baseball bat. Go ahead on, take off your hat. I'ma show you where it's at. Come here, kitty. Be quiet there. Take some of this here. All you bad old putty cats. Oh, putty. Oh, putty cat. Stay where you at. Take some of this baseball bat. I want to mash up your hat a little bit here. I'm going to teach you some manners. Come up here scratching me up like that. Stay where you at.